Hey, everyone. I'm back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, welcome back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, we are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And for those of you watching the replay on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page, be sure to like this page, share, and subscribe to the page. So welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Also, let me know where you are tuning in from today in the chat. As promised you all, as a part of our Mental Health Awareness Month series, I have an amazing guest today, which I've told you guys about for the last couple weeks because I'm so excited to have her on the show today. But today we have Dr. Akeia Keith. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this moment.
I'm so excited to have you. And I'm going to read Dr. Keith's bio. But before I do that, I do want to share that I've had the honor of knowing Dr. Keith for the past couple of years. This is one of the most amazing individuals that I know. Honored to know her. Please connect with her. We're going to give you all the information. Actually, let me put her name in the chat from now. Dr. Akeia Keith. And of course, I'm going to share. Okay, I think it went through. All right. And sorry, my LinkedIners. I don't know why when I type, it does not go through LinkedIn for some reason, but Facebook and YouTube, you should be able to see it. But nonetheless, so Dr. Akeia Keith, if you're just now joining, we are here today with Dr. Akeia Keith. She is a speaker, consultant, WNBA contributor, an advocate for youth and family empowerment. Her work focuses on mental resilience, leadership, conflict resolution, emotional wellness, and helping individuals navigate their lives with clarity and purpose. She's also the founder, which we're going to talk today about too, which I'm excited about. She's also the founder of a youth summit dedicated to empowering the next generation through mentorship, education, leadership development, and meaningful conversations around personal growth and wellness, which I love that. And through her work with youth, families, organizations, and sports-related spaces, she's passionate about creating lasting impact both on and off the court. So tonight, a mental health moment with Dr. Hammond. We're going to go beyond the highlight reel and discuss mindset, leadership, emotional wellness, conflict resolution, and what it truly takes to thrive personally and professionally. So thank you again, Dr. Keith, for being here today. I'm super excited, as you know, to have you here. And for those of you just joining, Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I'm here today with Dr. Akeia Keith. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from today. Hopefully I'll be able to see the comments because we know how technology wants to work sometimes, but hopefully it'll be working today. So again, let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments. For those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. And as far as you, Dr. Keith, where do you reside?
I'm in Georgia.
In Georgia, right?
Atlanta, as they say.
Yes, for sure. A lot of people, I don't know, certain weeks, a lot of people are here from Georgia. So, but Dr. Keith is also in the Georgia area. Okay, so we're going to dive right in. And for those of you who maybe you're just tuning in and you want to watch the whole entire show, be sure to watch the replay on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page. You can always catch Mental Health Moments, the replays, if you ever miss it, on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page. Okay, so we know, or I know, maybe the audience doesn't know, but I know that you've done such incredible work throughout your career, like helping families, helping people in elite performance spaces. How do you, because we've been talking about that a little bit this month, how would you define having an elite mindset, right? Especially for like everyday life, because we talk about that a lot, how important that is. So how would you define having an elite mindset?
Yeah, so for me, I would definitely preface it with, it does not mean perfection. Like, I don't know, my eye is watering for some reason, but it doesn't mean perfection.
Yeah.
It is setting intention about your self-awareness, your mental health, your emotional state. So a lot of times whether it's in our career or in our personal lives, a lot of us deal with perfection of, one, how will I look to the other person, or
Yeah.
how am I showing up in the world? But an elite mindset is one person being intentional about how they are mentally and emotionally. Like, that's just simple put. It is not perfection. It's
Yeah.
making sure that we are intentional about where we are mentally and emotionally.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I'm glad you mentioned that because especially on mental health moment, I've seen many of you have come week after week after week. And we talked about that too, right? Before, like, just it's hard sometimes because many of us are perfectionists though. And it's hard because we want to strive for perfection. But like
Yep,
you said, it's not always about the perfection, it's about the intention, which I
exactly.
love. That is
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
an amazing way to, kind of frame that. And I know that you have, like a framework for this too. You have a framework: pause, breathe, check in. Can you tell us, like, what does that look like? Because for a lot of people tuning in, they're in very high pressured situations, whether it's work or family or balancing it all, a combination of a whole bunch of things, right?
Mhm.
But tell us, like, maybe walk us through that framework. How do you, if you're in a busy, hectic lifestyle, how do you have that pause, breathe, check in framework? What does that look like?
Okay. And this is the first time you always do this. Like, you pull out information that I would never think about, but I feel like I need to give the backstory of how
Yeah.
this came about. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's been over 3 years now, maybe around, let's say, 5 or 6 years ago. I was scheduled to speak at a alternative school, and that
Mhm.
means I'm speaking to kids that have been removed out of public school due to some type of unwanted behavior in the public sector.
Yeah.
So I'm scheduled to speak, and my thoughts are all over the place in regards to what and how can I reel these kids in to start making better choices.
Yeah.
And I had this whole blueprint put, like PowerPoint. I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Went to bed, 3 a.m. in the morning. I wake up like frantic, but yet getting like this divine download of pause, breathe, and check in.
Yeah.
When I tell you, it has been the answer and framework ever since then. Like,
Wow.
one, it's easy to remember, whether it's an
Yeah.
adult or a child. And two, the framework actually works.
Yes.
And so, to just give you an insight on how I utilize it, pause is just allowing us to be intentional about our words before we actually respond, or even
Mhm.
our actions before we're actually ready to respond. And so pause is literally giving your body and your mind time to catch up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times in intense and high intense areas, oftentimes thinking goes out of the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we learn to pause before we respond, that's either text message, in person, email, like literally train yourself to pause
Yes.
before you give that answer. And it's also intentional to make sure that you don't use your first emotion that comes up.
So for those of us, I love that you mentioned that. So for those of us that are angry, upset, nervous, or whatnot, and say like the workplace, right? You're saying to like pause, take a second, right,
Yes.
first before answering that email or answering that phone call or whatever it is. Okay.
Yes, yes. You're setting the intention for your own response
Yes.
before. Like, we can't control anyone else's response, but we
Yeah.
can control ours if we're
Yes.
intentional about it, right?
Yeah.
So the second part is breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, if we think about it, when we're in like a flight or fight mode, we're
Yeah.
not breathing because we're like hesitant, thinking like the worst is about to happen.
Yeah.
And so to be able to know, like, okay, I'm breathing, meaning I'm inhaling, exhaling, and I'm allowing my nervous system to reset. I'm allowing my nervous system to know that I'm okay right now. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have to fight. We don't have to flee. We don't have to fight. Like, think about it now. I was dealing with at-risk youth, right, in a
Yeah.
alternative school. So teaching them to breathe, and even teaching parents and adults to breathe in a situation literally resets our nervous system to remind us and to let us know that we are okay. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and like you said, and I think like you were saying, you were talking about like at-risk youth, and for some,
Mhm.
I mean, for some of us listening right now, you may know, some youth in your life that's struggling in some way, or it might be you personally, or it might be you being a parent or grandparent or, whomever, aunt, uncle, whoever you are watching this, and you're like, wait a minute, I need to use that too, right? Because sometimes even as caregivers, you have to use that too, like to take a pause. Like you get triggered. We have everybody on the planet, we have triggers, different triggers. We have different triggers, right? So that
Yes.
importance, like you said, of or taking that pause, and also the breathing, which is
Yes.
very, very underrated.
Yes.
We
Yes.
forget how important it is to breathe. That's good. Okay.
Right. And I love what you just used, the word trigger.
Yeah.
So even with this framework of pause, breathe, check in, if we are aware of what our triggers are, so
Yeah.
if we're triggered, we can immediately go to this intervention to keep us from reacting to the thing that normally triggers us.
Yeah.
And so the last thing is to check in.
Mhm.
We're checking in with ourselves to find out, like, what results do I want out of this moment? What am I truly feeling at this moment? A lot of times we overlook our emotions, and that is so detrimental to ignore how we really feel. And a lot of times we put our feelings on the back burner to appease other people. But the truth of the matter is, it's so important for us to always, always put ourselves first.
Yeah.
And so checking in is allowing us to check in with ourselves. One, what is the outcome that you want? And this part slows down us being impulsive. So you are checking in to find out, one, what is the outcome that you want? And two, what emotions are coming up for you? We can care less at the moment what the other person is doing, but
Yeah.
what is coming up for you? What emotions do we need to possibly process
Mhm.
before we respond? And
That's
so
really
literally,
good.
yeah, this whole framework slows that whole impulsivity down.
Yeah.
Because so listen, and I used to be one of those. So maybe God gave it to me too, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Like I was one, if you push my buttons too much, I would react immediately. I would
Yeah.
see red, I would have a blackout, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
So I don't just teach this, but I utilize it for myself as well. And
Yeah.
so we just have to be intentional about all of those things. And I would like to say, a lot of times when I'm using this framework for youth, I've also empowered adults to do the same thing. When we say check in, you could also have someone that is intentional about your well-being. So
Yeah.
you can call a friend, text a friend. Like it doesn't even have to be a long drawn out thing. You can literally send an emoji and say, hey girl, if I send you this emoji, I
Yeah.
need you to blah blah blah, whatever that looks
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
And so that makes you accountable to somebody if you're still working on yourself and you want to make sure that you're not the one that that pops off, or you're not the one that you may need to get into some type of counseling or just personal development to help you become the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I really like what you just said. I haven't actually heard that before, but I really like that you all. So, well, first of all, let me just check in. Let me know in the comments here where you're tuning in from. Today we're here with Dr. Akeia Keith. I can see a couple of comments coming in, but again, I never know with technology, but still let me know where you're tuning in from, and hopefully the comments will start to pop up. But I was just going to say, I really like what you just said. I haven't heard that before, of having that plan. Again, like you said, being intentional, right? Because
Yes.
it's really easy to go through life, just gloss through life and not
Right.
name your emotions. Like
Right.
sometimes we have to name it. Like you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even realize I was angry or I was nervous or I was sad or whatever it is that you're feeling. But the other thing that I like what you said was sometimes just sending, maybe having like like some type of system with you and a friend where it's maybe it's just an emoji. Maybe you're too angry to type a whole, paragraph out, but if there's a sign, like whatever emoji that is, right? Like if there's a, I don't care what it is, if it's a sad face or an angry face or whatever it is that you could just send quickly to a friend and they get it. They're like, okay,
Right.
they need me right now, right? Like something quick. That's really good, actually, because that's something we can do too as an adult, to have that, if whether it's your significant other, a friend, family member, coworker, whoever, the person or persons who support you, that you can say, hey, I just need to send a quick text and be like, I am so distressed right now. I need to talk, or I need you just to listen, or whatever it is that you need, right? That's really good. I like that.
Listen, boy, okay.
Yeah,
You
someone
just
said it's
said
good to have a code. I
something.
can finally see some of the comments.
You
Someone said
just
it's good to have a
said
code. Completely agree. Go ahead.
you just said something about I forgot exactly what you said, but it automatically made me write this down. And this is something that I teach, and it's called Name It, Tame It.
Oh, okay.
So if you identify your trigger,
Yeah.
you contain your response to that trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So name it, tame it.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that way, again, using pause, brief, check in, name it, tame it, you're gonna be good to go.
Yeah.
Outside of, because at this point, there are so many different pressures in the world, so many different demands, and so many things that are literally throwing curveballs at us as human beings.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you really process what's happening?
Yeah.
And so being able to pause, breathe, check in, and name it, tame it,
Mm-hmm.
you remain in control.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And what about, like, so for the person or people that may be watching this right now, Dr. Keith, that who's like really stressed out, like they're like, I'm at my wit's end again, whether it's with your kids, your grandkids, your coworkers, your next door neighbors getting on your nerves or whatever, right? Like you're just stressed out, maybe just stressed out by things happening in the world, because like you said, it's a lot happening. There's some new virus out there now, like it's so, like there's so much happening, and then you have your own personal life. So
Yeah.
for that person who is just so overwhelmed, maybe they're stuck, they don't know what to do next as far as really elevating their own mindset. What do you think is, like, maybe just a small step or small shift that they can do to help them right now in their life going forward?
Yeah. So one thing that one thing I'm trying to see what I wrote down in reference to. It was something you said earlier that would be really good right here. But one thing that I do want to say for this is, especially as adults, don't be ashamed of your emotions.
Ooh,
A lot of
that's
times
good.
as adults, we are ashamed of how we truly
Wow.
feel.
Put that in the comments.
And we have to be okay with what's coming up for us as adults, right? It's somewhat easy to teach kids that, but adults, especially by the time we're already into our careers, we want to make it seem as though everything is okay when it's really not. So number one thing, don't be ashamed of your emotions. Like, we have to find out what's causing them. So if you are feeling stressed out, or if there is some depression there, like, literally give yourself grace, because it is okay for those feelings. It is okay for you to have those emotions. So tap in with yourself and acknowledge that I don't have to be ashamed. Like, I have nothing to defend. I have nothing to hide. This is what's coming up for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to take a look at my notes here, because it was something I wanted to make sure that I said. Oh, that's what it is. A lot of times as adults, we don't ask ourselves questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we do not allow our brain to have that, to utilize that function that processes questions. So let's just say you are triggered, you are overwhelmed, you are stressed. As a parent, as an adult, as a functioning adult, be okay with asking yourself, what is triggering this depression, or what is triggering this sadness? And you can even turn it into good things. What is triggering my happiness?
Yeah.
What, what is the it?
Yeah.
And it's okay to ask yourself questions,
Mm-hmm.
because whenever the brain hears a question, it will respond. But if we hover over or like skirt past those small things of asking ourselves questions, then our brain is not working to give us the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I can guarantee you that night, as I was preparing to go to that alternative school, I laid down with the question of, what do I really need to give them?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it that I could give them that will make them not revisit alternative school again?
That's good.
So I laid down with a question, and then, but voila, my brain answered while I was asleep and woke me up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you are feeling overwhelmed, or if you are feeling however you are
Yeah.
emotionally, ask yourself that question: what is triggering me to
Yeah.
experience this?
Yeah. I love
And
that.
then
And
give yourself grace.
yeah, I love that. I think both of those two things are important. Like you said, like asking yourself the questions because I think I've said this like 3,000 times. For those of you not new to mental health moment, I think I've said 3,000 times on this show, like, it's so easy to get wrapped up in everything else going on around you that you ignore yourself. So,
Mm,
like Dr. Akeia Keith was just saying, it's so important to make sure, like we talked about earlier, checking in with yourself, that you're asking yourself questions instead of
mhm.
getting only wrapped up in what's happening around you, right?
Yes.
Because, like you said, once you start asking yourself, sometimes you can figure it out on your own, what your triggers are and next steps and all that sort of thing. Sometimes you might need the help of a mental health professional or a friend. Sometimes you can do it on your own. It just depends on the situation. But nonetheless, you don't know until you start asking yourself questions, right?
Exactly.
And giving
Exactly.
yourself grace, like you mentioned too, is also extremely important. And I wonder too, like I know that you've had the opportunity, which I think is so cool, to work with the WNBA to see, you know, pressure at the highest level, right? Like being an elite athlete and just what, again, maybe not everyone watching this is an elite athlete, but we all have those very high powered, pressured situations. So,
Mhm.
what's one mindset shift that you've seen on that level, right? Like maybe of elite athletes that us everyday people, non-elite athletes can learn from and really apply in our own lives.
You know what? And this will be universal, whether
Mhm.
you are an athlete or not. What I've learned is, and what I've seen in the players, is that they are learning how to become comfortable with pivoting. That means us embracing change, period.
Yes.
Like, period. And I will say, I'm one of those individuals that initially it was very hard for me. It was, once I had my mind set up of, this is what I want and da 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 da, like I was so like hyper focused on
Mhm.
what I wanted, and that any other change would just throw me off. And that's the same that I've seen with the WNBA players, is that now they're in their 30th year of having the WNBA. So when I started 14 years ago, it
Wow,
was
14 years.
right, 14. It was basketball, basketball, basketball. And that's all, like literally every player was hyper focused
Yeah.
on, yes, I am a player.
Mhm.
And I believe that the work that we've done across the globe, as contributors to the WNBA, being that now I think we're at 14 teams, but those of us that work behind the scenes, we
Yeah.
collaborate.
Yeah.
We go to retreats together, and so we put together a game plan to help them be more than just a basketball player. So
Yeah.
outside of, I know I can't give everything to us, but I can say that we have added value behind the scenes in reference to letting them know that you are more than a basketball player.
Yeah.
And over time, we've seen them now venture out to becoming authors, venture out to being, speakers, or into real estate, or you name it, they are doing it like
Yeah.
full throttle. And it's not just about basketball. And
Yeah.
so they've learned to pivot. And I would say pivot is for them, a lot of times they are, let's just say you're on one team,
Mhm.
and truthfully, you can wake up in the morning and have to pack your bags to go to another team. So it's a lot of change that happens, but at the same time, sometimes we forget to read the small print. So
Yeah.
even in their contracts, they are aware that, okay, I may have to be moved from one team to the other. So I would say, for us that's not a WNBA athlete or whatever in that arena, just be aware to make sure you tap into what that small print says, that there is going to be change, because
Yeah.
when change happens, it truly makes us a better person, whether
Mhm.
it's good or bad. And I've embraced the idea that my good and bad are working for me.
Ooh.
So that yin and yang sign, that what is it, Romans 8:38, that all things are working together for my good. So
Wow.
even when I don't feel good in this situation, in this current change, some kind of way, it is working for my good.
Let me ask a question, because you made me think now. How do you get to that mind? Because a lot on mental health moment, a lot of times, not of course the comments today are like trickling in because of technology stuff, but I've heard a lot of stories even on mental health moment, and unfortunately we're not always in the happiest seasons of our lives, right? So I've heard a lot of stories of dark seasons, hard times, like struggle bus, like all the things, right? And but of course there's seasons, but what you just mentioned, how do you get to that mindset of saying like, okay, like everything is working for my good? Because that's an amazing mindset to get to. I think that's
Yeah.
like the $1 million question tonight, right? An inquiring mind want to know here. How do you get to that mindset? For those of you listening who maybe are like, man, I'm really struggling, I'm in a dark season, it's just a hard time. How do you get to that mindset to say everything's working for my good?
Yeah. Let me see. There's so many things running through my head right now, but I want to make it as simple as possible, because I don't want us to get lost in, again, that perfection thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I will say one of the things that we could do to get to that mindset of everything is working for my good,
Yeah.
it would be to journal.
Ooh, okay.
Huge awareness tool, right? It
Mhm.
is. If you wake up and just say, you know what, today I feel like absolute crap. It's just the worst day ever, and you have that Eeyore mentality that in that
Yeah.
moment, write it down. It can be one sentence, like,
Yeah.
I feel bad today.
Yeah.
And then 5 days from now, you look back and you don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
But then you also figure out that, wow, one, you become a better person because you start processing, like, what got me here.
Yeah.
It makes you a healthier communicator. It makes you a healthier person now, because now you're processing things in your life versus making yourself a victim of bad things happen.
Yeah.
If we stop victimizing ourselves with, one, our words, and then two, our thoughts,
Mm.
then we can literally intentionally create all things are always working for my good.
Mhm.
And listen, I'm in that season right now. I have to remind myself, no matter how this feels right now, no matter what it looks like, this is working for my good. And I will throw out another thing that would help is creating a vision board.
I know you've done that. I
But
know.
yeah, our brain is a muscle. So if we use it to see different things, to see a new way of life,
Yeah.
literally we're going to go in that direction. I will never forget, there has been so many times that I've met complete strangers that sowed into my life some kind of way. And it was a moment of, wow, what happened? Like, I literally almost missed my flight, but then I sat next to somebody that kept sewing into my nonprofit, like,
Yeah.
for years, right? So it's just different things that mentally, if we say no matter what, and it's almost like you have to get that no matter what attitude,
Yeah.
that everything is working for my good.
Let me put that in there too, reminding people everything, because that's a good affirmation too.
Yeah,
Actually.
I love it. I'm telling you, I don't just teach this stuff. I use it myself. So I know it works. I know it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
But that is something that I've intentionally had to put in place, is that everything is working for my good. And
Yeah.
sometimes people, I know when I came across the yin and yang symbol, it drew me to it some kind of way. And then when I started doing the research about good and bad and da 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 da, I had to run with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's the yin and yang. It's working together for my good. It's the Romans 8 and
Yeah.
28. And then I had to get a tattoo so I could just remind myself, like, all things are working together for my good,
Yeah.
even during the bad days, even
Yeah.
during the storm and the rain. Like, it's still working for my good.
Yeah. I think that's really good. That's really good. It's a really great mindset to get to also.
Mhm.
Even though I'm not gonna admit, I have been guilty before. I've been like, okay, this little adversity lesson. Can we just like speed through this guide
Right,
real quick? I'm like,
right, real
we
fast.
can do this later.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned.
Yep, got it. Let's go ahead and speed through this.
Oh
Um,
god.
but
Yeah.
yes, and later on, you see bigger pictures, right? Because sometimes when we're in the dark season, the hard season or whatnot, we like you said, we kind of get kind of tunnel vision, right?
Yeah.
Where that's all we can see. But then you like look, like have a larger outlook, and you're like, wait a minute, there's a lot of things I still have to be grateful for, even though
Yes.
this one area might be,
Yes.
you know.
Oh, I
So
have one more thing for you to
yeah,
add
you
to this.
share.
When you said
Share.
grateful, I remember, and maybe I'll do this. I don't know. I work from home a lot, so I really don't have to like go out. But I will say, another thing that you can do is literally every day you wake up, have a little piece of paper and write down 5 reasons you are grateful, or 5 things that you are grateful for, and put it in your pocket. And so, like, literally every time you put your hand in your pocket, you will feel what you wrote down to remind you
Oh,
of why you're grateful. And again, it makes you have a grateful heart, it makes you have a grateful mindset. And when you operate under that type of energy, like, you literally unintentionally draw good things to you,
yeah.
because we are literally spiritual beings having a human experience. So our
Mhm.
first thing is spiritual.
Yeah.
So if we tap back into our mindset of feeding it good things, then automatically good things have to come towards us and
Yeah.
to us. So
I like that. I mean, I've heard and I know, we've heard before, right? To write things down, things you're grateful for. But I like what you said, and I hadn't heard that before, of almost like putting it in your pocket or like or your purse or what wallet or whatever it is, like kind of keeping it with you. Like that
yeah,
I hadn't heard before. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. Because
yeah,
you whatever you go into your pocket, your purse, your wallet, your whoever, whatever you have, and you start to kind of look, you're like, oh wait. And it's just a reminder throughout the day.
mhm,
So I love that. I love
yeah.
that. That's so great. Um, oh, see these comments, I swear. You all, I hope you're putting in a lot of comments tonight. Unfortunately, I can't see the majority of them. I know the comments are there. I just can't see them because technology is being crazy tonight. But I see a few here and there. But someone said, that's good. Put the gratitude note in your pocket as a reminder throughout the day.
Mhm,
Yes, yes, I think that's such a great idea, and it doesn't necessarily have to be every single day, like, you may have di
mhm,
busy days or whatnot, but even if it's a couple times a week, let's say,
yeah,
or, kind of when you remember, it's just nice to have. So I like that.
yeah.
I
And
like
you can keep them, right? Put them in a jar afterwards, and
Yeah.
then at the end of the year, revisit that and see,
Mhm.
like, wow, these are the things that I was grateful for.
Yeah.
And it puts us, it's almost like getting a warm hug of, like, you made it through that season.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing very impactful work. I'm always super
Thank you.
excited. Like just I love all of doing. Well, actually, first tell us about your youth summit. Is it wait, can people still register?
Yes, they still can.
Okay. So
It's 2 weeks
who's it?
from now. Whew.
My goodness. Okay. So and what's the where can yeah, tell us about it and where can people get information?
Okay, so this, y'all, another word thing, right? I had a mentor that asked me, Akeia, when are you going to start, like, showing your brilliance, and when are you going to start doing things for you? And I was like, wow, I'm going to do a conference. And before I could stop myself, it was already out. And I am a keeper of my word as much as possible. And so out of that commitment, I created a movement called Choices. And it is a youth and parent conference and those that work with families. And we literally focus on like mental health awareness, conflict resolution, parent-child relationships, emotional literacy, all the things that make a family unit thrive in a better way. And it's so important for me. It was almost like my intention is to bring people to me versus me trying to do one door at a time. My intention was to reach out to bring people to me so that we can be in one place. Because a lot of times in my work, I'm either working with a parent alone without the child, or I'm working with the child alone without the parent. And sometimes that brings imbalance to the family unit because both entities who have this conflict or this misunderstanding is not getting the same information. And sometimes it does not work out the best because there's a struggle if you come home with new interventions and then the other person has no information about what you're trying to implement. And so my goal was ultimately to get everyone in one room so that we can discuss the things that are breaking our families apart. And me working in this field I'm at like 20 some years now, it's been the same thing over and over. Like, it's nothing new. A lot of things that I've created and put into motion has been years of seeing and hearing the same type of things.
Yeah.
And being able to support the family unit with this conference is absolutely amazing. It has changed lives, and I'm super excited about this second year. And I'm pinching myself because I can't believe that I chose to do it again. Because it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work. But I know my heart is pure in regards to the impact and the transformation that is experienced at the conference. And so if you one thing to just tap into it is to follow me on Instagram at Akeia_Keith. That will put you in direct connection with me. And then we also have, I'm gonna have to drop the link because I don't know it by heart, but we do have an actual registration link for the conference. And so I will drop that after we finish the live so that we can have it.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. And also, yeah, be sure to connect with Dr. Keith on IG at Akeia_Keith. And then if people have questions, can they just DM you on there, or what's the best way?
Yes, definitely. Yes, they can definitely DM me. That would be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I could add also that if there are like groups, which I love groups intentionally, I love groups. So if you are a person that has an organization that wants your group to come, please inbox me. Either you can do Instagram, or you can also email me directly at info@akeiakeith.com, and that will come straight to me, and we can work out the details for your group.
Okay. I put all the info in there. So what is next for you? I know obviously you have the conference coming up in a couple of weeks, which is amazing. You all, the only reason why I will not be at that conference is because my grandma's 95th birthday.
Okay, you better be there for grandma. You better not come, because I'm gonna be looking at you crazy. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Otherwise, I would be there with bells on, because Dr. Akeia Keith, like I mentioned, for those of you who came in a little bit later, is one of my favorite people in the world. She does such good, impactful work. I know those youth, the people that work with youth, like everyone at the conference is going to be so blessed. So if you're in the Georgia area, be sure to connect. Again, it's either info@akeiakeith.com, or you can connect with her on IG at Akeia_Keith, Akeia_Keith on IG. Okay, so as we wrap up here, tell us about what is new, exciting for you in a conference, but are there any other anything else you want to leave us with? Anything else you want to share as we wrap up?
Yeah, so I did write my first children's book, and it's based off of Pause, Breathe, and Check In, because I think it was that burden was laid on my heart when I had a flashback of my youngest client being 2 years old. So
Aww.
so far, I was like, you know what? I can't forget about my little ones. And so I did write my
Yeah.
first children's book, and it's based off of
Congratulations.
Check In. Thank you so much. So if you have a little one that enjoys bedtime stories, or if you are a teacher that is K-5, I would recommend that you get that book. And
What's the name of the book?
it's called Pause, Breathe, Check In.
Okay.
And it's specifically for it's a story of Pause, Breathe, and Check In. And you will see the front cover is a little girl with She Rocks on her thing, on her shirt.
Check In. And where can they get the book?
It's on Amazon.
Okay, so on Amazon. I'll put that all in the I'm putting in the comments, you all. And again, I apologize for my LinkedIners. For some reason, with this platform, it goes through to LinkedIn. So I will read it for you all at LinkedIn. So the children's book is called Pause, Breathe, Check In. It's on Amazon because I know we have a lot of readers on Mental Health Moment. So you can always grab that book. And hi from California. Sorry I missed you today. All good. If you came late, if you're just not tuning in as we're wrapping up, it's all good. You can watch the replay of this on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page. So be sure to be checking that out. And yeah, any last words, any last pieces of advice or words of wisdom that you want to leave the mental health moment community with today?
Yeah, if anything, I really want people to know that it is okay to like literally create space for yourself. Whether it is us giving all the time, our our intellect, like all of that, we're always showing up for other people. It's okay for you to take a Selah for yourself and like literally put it on your calendar to say, I commit to giving myself this space. Because the climate of the world today and everything that's happening, if we are not kind to ourselves intentionally, literally we're gonna need therapy like to the umpteenth degree, like laying on the couch every day. And I we're in a space where our creativity needs to have its freedom to create what we are literally called to create in this world. And so we as human beings have to give ourselves a space, an intentional space where you can pause, breathe, and check in with yourself. Make yourself your first priority so that you can be the best version of yourself to other people. And literally be kind to yourself. Be okay with sharing your emotions in like literally in a safe way, right? We don't want to operate off of impulse, but literally give yourself grace to pause, breathe, and check in. And always remember, if you can name it, then you can tame it. But if we continue to ignore what's coming up for us or what's triggering us, there's no way that we can gain control of it. So be intentional about your mental health and your emotions and allow yourself to go through that process so that you can be the best version of yourself. And literally, like I said, if you can name it, then you can tame it. If you ignore it, then there's no help. That I felt like that was a mic drop right there. Like we have to name it so we can tame it.
Yes. I love it. Mic drop for sure. Thank you. So show Dr. Keith some love in the comments. Even though the comments are flickering in and out. But all good. Show her some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all your wisdom. I saw a lot of positive comments in here. People were like, I
Wow.
needed this tonight. Thank you for the information. So thank you again. It's so helpful. And again, if you're just tuning in, we are at the end of the live. We went a little bit over time tonight, which is all good because this is very valuable information. Please, please implement these things that Dr. Keith has been talking about into your life. But again, you can always watch the whole entire show on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page. But again, thank you, Dr. Keith. And one more time, your IG. Let me put in here one more
It's
time.
Akeia_Keith.
Okay, let me put it on here. So if you want to connect, be sure to connect. If you want to connect about the youth summit coming up, it's what date is it again?
It's May 30th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And y'all, we have breakfast and lunch, so you won't be hungry.
Yes,
You will not be hungry.
What city?
It's in McDonough, Georgia, and that's
Okay.
McDonough, Georgia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I know there's a global community. So if you are, I apologize, but if you're on the other side of the world, I mean, unless you can fly to Georgia, please do. Yes, if you're going to fly to Georgia. Or for those of you who are going to be in the Georgia area on May 30th, be sure to get more information about that summit, or grab the book Pause, Breathe, Check In on Amazon, or just connect with Dr. Keith, because she is a wealth of information, amazing human. I am, again, honored to know her and call her a friend for the past couple of years. Amazing person. We have many memories, positive memories. So thank you again. Appreciate you. Love you. Be blessed.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone so much for tuning in. We will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. Have an amazing week. And I will see you guys next week.
Bye.